Hi everyone, I am back again because we finally have more information on Emerald of Katong. In this video today, I'll take you guys through the site plan, the floor plans, and also share the unit types I'll consider getting if I'm looking for a purchase. First, let's take a look at the fact sheet. So, Emerald of Katong is a 99-year leasehold project with the TOP expected to be mid-2029. However, I believe this is quite a conservative gauge by the developers, and you should be able to expect TOP towards the end of 2028. In total, there will be 6 blocks of 846 units with full facilities and basement car park as well. And there will be a total of 682 car park lots for those of you who are driving. Now here's the overview of the site plan. As part of the requirements of this land, the developers have to build a neighborhood park, which you can see in the top right-hand corner of this site plan right now. The 6 blocks are also laid out across from each other with the facilities in between. First, if you look at the block-to-block distance, it is also at a very healthy distance of 41 to 44 meters, which is double the minimum requirement of 20 meters. So if you're looking to buy into the inward-facing unit, you'll be happy to know that you will have added privacy and not be too close to your neighbors as well. Now, let's explore the potential view and facing of the development. Looking towards the right of the site plan, units will enjoy a view of the neighborhood park and over the landed enclave along Tanjong Katong Road. However, do note that below the neighborhood park, there's actually a 9-story nursing home that's currently in construction. So if you look at the place where the words are on, the legend, that's actually where the nursing home will be located. So for certain stacks here, there will definitely going to be a view of the nursing home. Next, looking into the direction along the main entrance on Jalan Tembusu will be the view of Tembusu Grand and Head Court. These condominiums are already completed and will finish construction by the time Emerald of Katong is built. And at a healthy distance of 47 meters, I believe that units facing here will be quite desirable and well sought after. The views on the left-hand side overlooking the Gourmet Pavilion and the tennis court will also be unblocked, as it is currently overlooking the black and white bungalows by SLA. And lastly, the units facing the top currently faces an empty plot of land with views of condominiums of Amber in the distance. However, do note that this empty plot is also slated for future development, so the views are not guaranteed as well. Now, let's explore the common facilities in the development. They have been split into various zones such as the adventure, wellness, active, and lifestyle zones. So from the left to the right, the adventure zone is where you'll find the tennis court, gourmet pavilion, wading, and the splash pool. The wellness zone in the middle will feature a lounge pavilion, a relaxation pool, and a spa deck. And the active zone on the right includes the sun deck and the lap pool. Along these zones are also what developers have termed the lifestyle zones, so they have set aside spaces for stargazing, for reading, and a swing. The small yellow circles you see also signifies the side gates of the development, and there's a total of 5 side gates at Emerald of Katong, which is actually very generous of the developers, which will actually connect you very well to the MRT, to Katong Shopping Centre, and to Tanjong Katong Road as well. So to give you an idea of how the development looked, here are some perspectives for you to look through. Inspired by the Peranakan culture of the Katong district, the developers have weaved in intricate design elements that resembles the mosaic tiles found in Peranakan houses and also the patchwork seen on Peranakan quilts. The gourmet pavilion and gym is also elevated at 3 to 5 meters above ground, giving residents a good view during their workout and gatherings. What I also particularly like is that the developers have provided a nice setback for units on the ground floor, so residents will not actually walk directly outside your private enclosed space, giving you additional privacy. So, if you want to view and know more about the development, feel free to reach out to me below to get more information on the floor plans and the site plans, and I'll be happy to share more with you. Now, I'm going to take you through the unit types and the floor plans. Now here are the different sizes of the units from 1-bedroom plus study to the 5-bedroom. Note that the unit sizes here might appear a little bit smaller because Emerald of Katong is the first development in District 15 under the new URA harmonization guidelines, where developers cannot charge consumers for the aircon ledge. This is why the unit sizes reported here does not include the aircon ledge as well. Now, let's take a look at the 1-bedroom plus study layout. So the 1-bedroom plus study, there's only 82 units, which accounts for about 10% of the whole development. There's 4 stacks and it's also at 484 square feet. Maintenance fee is rather reasonable at $300, and the predicted starting price is about 1.331 million, translating to about 2,750 PSF. If you watch my previous video, you will know that I have predicted 2,650 to 2,750 as my starting price range. In this video, I'm going to take the upper end of that prediction because recently there are actually a lot of new launches and they have received very, very good sales as well. Like 8 at BT, which sold between 2,008 to 3,000 PSF, Maya Blue above 3,000 PSF as well, and recently Norwood Grand, which sold 84% on launch day. Looking at the performance here, I believe that Sim Lim Group might consider pricing it a little bit higher because there's a lot of demand in market. So we don't know, but if they actually come below this price point, then it would definitely be very, very attractive for consumers to come in for the 1 bedroom plus study. And the reason is because if we compare the potential starting price against the 3 other new launches in the area, they are already pricing at 1.494, 1.428, and at Tembusu Grand is also at around 1.4 million already. So if we actually come in below 1.331, then among all the new launches, Emerald of Katong will definitely be the cheapest and will be the most attractive for people to enter currently. And also, if you look at the 1 bedroom plus study price analysis, if you look into One Amber and Amber Park, which is both freehold, the last transacted for One Amber is at 1.270 and Amber Park is at 1.428. And respectively, they can fetch a rental of between 3,500 and 3,700 as well. So for Emerald of Katong, for it being a newest development, I would say that the rental will potentially fetch around 3,700 or maybe slightly a little bit higher. And looking at the resale pricing, I'm a little bit concerned that the projected price for Emerald of Katong 1 bedroom plus study is actually quite similar to the resale. In fact, if someone wants to go out now to buy a resale 1 bedroom freehold, they can actually do so at a cheaper price. So for Emerald of Katong 1 bedroom plus study, if you are looking at it at a short-term flip, it might not be the best option right here. For an investment, there's actually 2 things that we look into. One is the capital appreciation potential, and 2 is the rental yield. So assuming Emerald of Katong's 1 bedroom plus study could actually fetch a $4,000 rental per month, the rental yield at a purchase price of 1.331 is only 2.69. A purchase price of 1.35 will give you a rental yield of 2.65. A purchase price of 1.375 will give you a rental yield of 2.6. So typically for good rental yields, we are trying to look at 3% onwards. So this is only quite an average rental yield for the 1 bedroom plus study at Emerald of Katong. However, if you're still looking to buy into the 1 bedroom plus study at Emerald of Katong, I think that entry price is very important. If the developers actually price this below $1.3 million, I think that that's a good entry price range. If not, I think it's best to keep your purchase below 1.35 million if possible. So looking at the stacks here, I assume that stack 22, 01, and 35 will be the stacks with the cheapest units, and they should start from 1.331 million onwards. And stack 30 will be the premium facing unit starting from 1.347 million onwards. And I've priced it at 1.347 million because of a 16,000 price difference that I've used based on the past transactions at the developer's previous new launch, the Botany. And the price for jump per floor at the Botany was 8,000 as well. So you can take that as a gauge if you want to look at units on a higher floor. So my stack prioritization is stack 30 if the price is in the low $1.3 million range, followed by stack 1, 22, and 35. 35 is my last choice here because that's actually in front of the car park exit, so that might be a little bit of a noise here. And now let's explore the 2 bedroom premium units. There are 2 layouts here, one at 624 square feet and the other at 646 square feet. In total, there are 145 units, making up about 17% of the development. Maintenance fee is $360, and the predicted starting price ranges from 1.684 million to 1.744 million at about 2,700 PSF. Between the 2 layouts, the only difference is that the 646 square feet has their kitchen tucked into the corner, so once you step into the development, you actually get a bigger sense of space. Now let's take a look at the 2 bedroom plus study layouts. There are 3 layouts in total, one at 678 square feet, one at 689 square feet, and the last one at 700 square feet. In total, there are 143 units, making up 17% of the development. Maintenance fee is similar to the 2 bedroom premium as well. and the predicted starting price range is from $1.830 million to $1.89 million. Out of the three layouts, I like the 678 square feet one a little bit more, not just because of its size, but because the study is actually located in the living room. So if I don't actually need a proper study area, I could use this as additional storage or for other activities as well. As compared, the other two layouts have their studies in the bedroom itself. Now, let's look at the price analysis and compare the potential starting price for Emerald of Katong against the new launches in the area. The Continuum 2-bedroom and 2-bathroom is now from 1.840 million onwards, whereas Grand Dunman and Tembusu Grand has their 2-bedroom plus study at over 2.1 million onwards. So, looking at the potential entry price as well, Emerald Katong would look quite attractive if the developers actually launch within this price range. And now, let's take a look at the pricing of the resale 2-bedrooms in the area. So the S-Star has a last transaction at $2.3 million, One Amber has a last transaction at $2.29 million, and Amber Park at $1.978 million. So taking into account the new launch pricing in the area, the resale pricing, and comparing it to the predicted starting price for Emerald of Katong, you can see that Emerald of Katong is actually the clear winner here, as there's a potential price gap. And this potential price gap is actually very important to investors, especially because it means that your price growth will be supported in the near future. Next, even taking rental prices into account, the S-Star and Amber Park can actually command $5,200 for their 2-bedroom. Among the 2-bedroom layouts at Emerald of Katong, these are my top 2 choices. First, the 624 square feet 2-bedroom premium unit because of the low quantum. Second, the 678 square feet 2-bedroom plus study unit because of where the study is located. So assuming they are both going to sell at 2,700 PSF and there's a difference of 54 square feet, there's a potential price gap at $145,800 between these 2 unit types. So is the premium worth it? Now, let's first take a look at a case study from Seaside Residences. In the first case study here, we take 2 units of a similar size, one at 764 square feet and the second unit at 786 square feet. Both are bought around the same time, in similar floors, and sold off around the same time as well. From what we can see, appreciation is actually similar, but the unit of a bigger size actually made more profits. This means if your budget allows, it might make sense for you to pick the 678 square feet unit at Emerald of Katong because this means you will make more in the future as well. In the second case study here, we take 2 units of similar size but on different level, one on level 1 and one on level 20. From what we can see here, the better entry price eventually equates to more profits. So if you are looking at a unit in a similar stack and you're just looking for pure investment, it might make sense for you to go for the lower floor units because it might translate into higher profits in a shorter period of time. So now, let's take a look at the Emerald of Katong site plan to see where these units are located. For the 624 square feet 2-bedroom premium units, they are represented by the yellow arrow. Mostly are inward facing, except for Stack 27, which is the outward facing into a future development. For the 678 square feet 2-bedroom plus study as well, they are all inward facing as well, which means these units do come at a premium. And taking the price comparison with the botany, we can see that the price gap for facing is at $39,000 and price jump per floor is $10,000. So we'll assume Stack 27 here to be the lowest entry price unit at $1.684 million onwards. So if you're looking purely for investment and price is the most important factor, I would say you definitely should look at Stack 27. However, if you have a budget of about $1.85 million, it might make more sense for you to look into the 678 square feet unit on the lower floor as opposed to the 624 square feet unit on the higher floors. Because looking at the case study, what we understand is that the bigger units will actually make more profits, and those on the lower floors actually do make more profits than units on the higher floor as well. And now, let's explore the layouts of the 3-bedroom units, starting with the 3-bedroom Classic. There are a total of 2 layouts for the 3-bedroom Classic, one the 883 square feet and one the 904 square feet. The only difference here is that the 904 square feet actually features a bigger foyer area, and both unit types does not come with a yard. There are a total of 101 units, making up 12% of the development, Maintenance fee is $360 and the predicted starting price is from 2650 PSF, so from 2.339 million to 2.395 million. And now let's explore the 3-bedroom plus study layouts. There are a total of 4 different layouts here and they come in 3 different sizes. The first is a 969 square feet unit, second 990 square feet, and third is a 1023 square feet. There are a total of 181 units, making up a total of 21% of the development. Maintenance fee is similar at $360 and the predicted starting price range is from 2.56 million to 2.71 million. So the first layout we are looking at is a 969 square feet. So this layout already come with a study and a yard, and if you compare it with the 990 square feet unit, the only difference is that the 990 square feet unit does come with a bigger living room space. And now, looking into the final 2 layouts, we have a 990 square feet flexi unit here. And the best part about this is that the study wall is actually hackable, which means if you do not need a dedicated study area, this layout will be great because you can actually expand your dining area and make your living room look a lot more spacious. And the last layout is a 1023 square feet unit. And the difference between this and the 990 layout is that it has a bigger foyer, it comes with a dedicated storeroom, and also the study is laid out vertically rather than horizontally. So now after looking at all the floor plans, and also looking at the predicted starting price, let's compare it against the pricing of the new launches in the area. So looking at the 3 new launches, Tembusu Grand, Grand Dunman, and the Continuum, they have their 3-bedroom price from $2.458 million onwards. However, note that the unit sizes for Grand Dunman and Continuum is a little bit smaller here, and these are pre-harmonization projects, so it's likely that their usable space is lesser than Emerald of Katong as well. And for Tembusu Grand, their 3-bedroom actually is at 1184 and 1173 square feet. So, but their pricing is from $2.648 million onwards. So comparing this against the predicted starting price for Emerald of Katong, we can see that Emerald of Katong might still look a little bit more desirable in terms of price quantum. So now, let's look at the pricing for the 3-bedroom in the resale market. So for the S-Star, it's last transacted at $2.85 to $3.15 million. One Amber has transacted from $2.83 to $3.2 million, and Amber Park at $2.68 to $3.27 million. So understandably, these are all freehold condominiums, but I would say the price gap is actually quite significant between the predicted starting price for Emerald of Katong, which is at $2.33 to $2.71 million, to the potential entry price into the resale market at $3.2 million. Because we have to assume that new sellers will also want to price at a higher price and will use the latest highest transaction as a baseline. For the rental pricing, the compact 3-bedroom at Amber Park could fetch about $6,300 and the premium at $7,200. So assuming you still be interested into buying to a 3-bedroom unit here at Emerald of Katong, which are the layouts should you go for? My first choice here is the 990 square feet flexi layout. My second choice is the 883 square feet compact layout. But based on the potential starting price of 2,650 PSF, the difference in price gap will be 283,550. Is this premium worth it? Let's take a look at 2 case studies here at Park Esta. In the first case study, we compare a 915 square feet 3-bedroom compact unit against a 1,033 square feet 3-bedroom premium unit. Both are the same facing and on the same level. During the purchase, the bigger unit was bought at $164,828 more, which is about 10.5%. And when both units were sold, the bigger unit was also sold at $70,888 more, which translates to about 14.3%. The difference here is about 3.8%. Hence, if you have the budget and your budget allows, it might make more sense for you to buy the bigger unit because it might translate into bigger profits in the future when you sell as well. In the second case study, we compared 2 units of the same size, one on level 5 and one on level 17. When both units were sold, the unit on level 17 achieved a higher profit, and it is because of its entry price. But if you look here, the entry price for the level 17 unit is only 30 PSF more as compared to the level 5 units. So this means that if the developers are not really putting a premium on a higher floor facing unit, it might make more sense for you to go with the higher floor unit during its launch. So now, let's take a look at Emerald of Katong site plan to see how I prioritize my unit selection. In comparison with the Botany, The price gap for the facing is $23,000 and price jump per floor is $10,000. The first stack I'll choose is actually stack 21 on a high floor, even though it's facing a future development, because from the balcony, you can actually do get perpetual unblocked views when you look diagonally. My second choice here is stack 29 on the low to mid floors. What I like about Emerald Katong's low to mid floor facing inwards is that there is actually a setback between the footpath and the balcony, so it does give you added privacy as well. And lastly, it will be the 883 square feet small compact unit in stack 25. And the reason why I chose the bigger unit versus the smaller unit here is because I do think that the 3-bedroom is catered toward families, and the additional study space that's hackable and also the yard space will come in useful for them. So let's talk about the 4-bedroom layouts at Emerald Katong, starting with the 4-bedroom plus study at 1152 square feet. So there are a total of 38 units in this layout, making up 4.5% of the development. Maintenance fee is $420, and the predicted starting price range is from $2.937 million, which is about $2,550 PSF. As compared to the 4-bedroom premium units, the 4-bedroom premium has layouts at 1259 square feet and 1270 square feet. In total, there are 84 4-bedroom premium units. The maintenance fee is similar, and the predicted starting price range is from $3.21 million to $3.238 million. So, the main difference between the 4-bedroom plus study and the 4-bedroom premium is that for the premium unit, the square footage is definitely bigger, and this difference is actually because it has a bigger landscape living room. Next, the shelter is also located in the kitchen, whereas for the 4-bedroom plus study, the shelter is actually located next to the dining area. Now, let's take at the 4-bedroom Lux plus study layout. There are two layouts here, and there's a total of 36 units making up 4% of the development. Maintenance is similar, and also the predicted starting price range for these units are from $3.32 million to $3.348 million. The first layout is 1,302 square feet, and the second layout is 1,313 square feet. So the main difference between the Lux and the non-Lux layout is that the Lux layout feature natural marble floorings, and the developer actually gives you two more appliances, and that is a steamer and a wine cooler. And of course, in terms of size, it will be the bigger 4-bedroom layouts as well. Do note that for the projected starting price range, I haven't factored in the fact that developers might put a premium on the 4-bedroom Lux units. So we have to wait for the official indicative price to find out. Now, let's take a look at how it compares to the current new launch pricing. If you look at the 4 bedrooms at the Continuum, Grand Diamond, and Tembusu Grand, the 4-bedroom at the Continuum is pricing from $3.321 million onwards, Grand Diamond at $3.311 million onwards, and Tembusu Grand at $3.288 onwards. For the Continuum and the Grand Diamond, the 4-bedroom sizes are actually a little bit smaller than what you'll find at Emerald Katong, and for Tembusu Grand, the 4-bedroom size is probably quite similar to the 4-bedroom Lux unit. And now looking into the price in the resale sector as well, the Esta has their 4-bedroom transacting at $3.505 to $3.68 million, One Amber at $3.35 to $3.4 million, and Amber Park at $4.43 to $4.8 million. And even though this is all freehold development, we can see that people do tend to pay a premium for a development that's actually newer, more well-maintained, and probably because they can move in right away. And also looking into the rental prices, the premium 4-bedroom at Amber Park could actually fetch $7,500 and the compact at $7,200. So, looking at the projected starting price for Emerald Katong 4-bedroom against the new launch and the resale, I would say that the projected starting price for EOK is actually quite attractive, potentially at a lower or similar range with the new launch in the market now. And if we compare it against the resale, there's actually a significant price gap. And this gap would definitely support the price growth for Emerald Katong in the future. So if you're a pure investor looking to buy into the 4-bedroom unit today, you'd be happy to know that there's actually not a lot of supply in the market. What we've done is that we've compiled a list of all the condominiums that minimally has 200 units and has full facilities as well, and we see that there's only less than 20 4-bedroom units listing at the moment. Some of these listings are also of penthouse units, so the quantum is really much higher. If you don't have that budget, you definitely can't even look at those units. So, for people looking to buy a 4-bedroom in District 15 today, they will likely be looking at the new launches between Emerald Katong, Tembusu Grand, Grand Diamond, and the Continuum. So now, let's look at the two layouts I'll consider if I'm buying the 4-bedroom today. One, it is the 1152 4-bedroom plus study layout, and secondly, it is the 1259 4-bedroom premium layout. In my opinion, both layouts are equally good, but if budget allow, definitely go for the 1259 square feet layout because the living room is a lot more spacious and in a landscape format, which I think is very desirable in the resale market. Now, let's look into the site plan to see which stack I'll prioritize. First, the 1152 square feet layout is represented by the yellow arrows and the 1259 square feet layout is represented by the red arrows. When we look at the price comparison with the botany, the price gap for the facing for the 4-bedroom is around $73,000 and the price jump per floor is $10,000. What I also like about the 1152 square feet units is also located in a block where there's only 6 units per floor. So unlike the 1259 square feet layout, they are in blocks where there are 8 units per floor. So in this case, if I'm on a budget and I'm just looking for pure investment, I will definitely prioritize stack 13 and 14, where the price should start from 2.937 million onwards and 3.01 million onwards, depending on the facing. And then following that, if budget allows, then I'll look into stack 40, where the 4-bedroom premium should start from 3.283 million. And on the higher floor, I will also get a diagonal view of the neighborhood park. Now that's all with the 4-bedroom units. Now let's take a look at the 5-bedroom Lux unit types. There's a total of 3 different layouts, and in total 36 units making up about 4.3% of the development. Maintenance fee is similar at $420, and the predicted starting price ranges from $3.613 to $3.824 million. The first layout is 1,475 square feet. This doesn't come with a private lift. The second layout is the one and only unit of its type. On the ground floor, 1,485 square feet. This does come with a private lift. And the last layout here is the biggest of its size, 1,561 square feet, that comes with a private lift as well. So now after seeing the layout and knowing the potential starting price range for Emerald of Katong, let's also compare it with the new launches in the area. So for the Continuum, their 5-bedroom are actually priced from $5.6 million onwards, Grand Namban from $4.034, and Tembusu Grand from $4.028. So, judging by the projected starting price range, if Emerald of Katong's developer can price it at between 3.6 to 3.8 million, then the starting price will definitely be very attractive as compared to the other new launches in the area. Now, let's take a look at the resale market. So, for the resale market, the Estar, these are penthouse units, and it's transacted at 6.25 million, Cape Cod at 4.718 million, and Amber Park at 6.5 million as well. So the unit sizes are actually significantly bigger, so it's actually not an apple-to-apple comparison, plus the quantum also differs quite drastically as well, so we can't compare the resale developments with Emerald of Katong this way. Next, looking at the rental as well, Amber Park's 5-bedroom could actually fetch up to $13,000, but do note that because the unit sizes are bigger and more than 2,000 square feet, so for Emerald of Katong, we might need to factor a lower rent as well. So, if I'm looking to buy into a 5-bedroom today, what unit type should I go for? In my opinion, it's definitely going to be the bigger unit type at 1,561 square feet. And the reason why I say so is because this layout is actually much better when I compare it with the new launches in Grand Daman and Tembusu Grand. So when we look into Grand Daman at 1,690 square feet, even though this unit does come with a private lift, the living room is actually not as spacious, not as landscape as compared to the one that we see in Emerald of Katong. The landscape living room does make a difference because it makes the space look a lot broader and spacious when someone walks into the unit. Secondly, the 1,711 square feet unit at Tembusu Grand does not actually come with a private lift. So if Similium Group could actually launch it between $3.8 to $4 million, I do think that this is a very attractive price range for you to enter into the 5-bedroom Lux unit at Emerald of Katong. So looking at the site plan, there's only one stack for you to look at, and that is stack 32. And we are predicting that the prices will start from $3.824 million onwards. And lastly, here are some reasons why you should consider Emerald of Katong to be your next home. First, if you are looking for a new home in Prime District 15 and potentially at a lower quantum as compared to the surrounding resale condominiums. Next, if you are looking for something with good connectivity to the CBD, city, Changi Airport via public transportation and car. Next, if you want to be near to amenities such as malls like I12 Katong, Parkway Parade, East Coast Park, and the fitness and lifestyle options in Katong and Joo Chiat area. And lastly, if you want something that has a good price growth potential, then Emerald of Katong might be the one for you. So with that, that is the end of my floor plan analysis along with thoughts on the units I'll consider getting if I'm looking into Emerald of Katong today. However, I do know that everyone's property situation is different and your objective for purchasing might be for investment and own stay. So if you're looking for tailored advice and recommendations, or would just like to look into the floor plans and details, or know when the show flat officially opens so we can go view together, you can feel free to reach out to me via my WhatsApp in the link below, or my Instagram and TikTok at the Property Ming, and I'll send you more information and reach out for a discussion. So that's all. I'll see you the next time. Bye.